2023 has been an outstanding year here at Plimoth Patuxet Museums as we have marked the 50th anniversary of the Wampanoag Indigenous program. A highlight of this milestone year was the maintenance of the nuhshwetu. Nuhshwetu is a Wampanoag word for a house large enough to accommodate 3 fires and by extension 3 families. The nuhshwetu on the historic Patuxet home site represents the winter shelter for these extended families. Originally constructed in 2017 under the leadership of Darius Coombs, a scholar and culture keeper from my sister community, Mashpee, this traditional bark-covered house is an integral part of the historic Patuxet home site and is enjoyed by visitors as they learn about Wampanoag culture and history. The work on this 36-foot-long cedar frame structure has allowed the public to learn a little bit more about Wampanoag and Indigenous lifeways and practices that have been passed down through generations and generations. The bark covering the dome-shaped house can last 3 to 6 years, but as time passes, the bark will eventually deteriorate and needs to be replaced. The cedar frame of the house can last anywhere from upwards of 10 years, though. The project's first step was sourcing the bark. In the springtime, museum staff traveled to Berea, Kentucky to peel large pieces of bark from tulip poplar trees that were harvested in the Berea College forest. This was a collaborative effort with a team from the college led by forester Dr. Plimoth Patuxet. Following several days of work, many panels of beautiful, thick bark were transported back to Plimoth Patuxet in the museum's flatbed trailer.
The nuhshwetu is one of the key features that guests encounter when they visit the museum's historic Patuxet home site. As a living museum, we're always excited to share a project activity like this with the public. It's just one of the ways we give our visitors a real window into the lifeways of people who have lived here in this region for thousands of years and are still here today. Step inside for a look at the nuhshwetu. Some of the interesting things you'll see in this winter wetu are the 3 fire pits, hand-woven mats, animal skins, and many other handcrafted objects. This house would typically accommodate an extended family of 15 to 20 people. This is a place to discover the ways of my ancestors, the planting of our gardens, crafting our dugout machoons, and the preparation of our seasonal foods, to name a few. We are always delighted to bring history and culture to life for the guests who visit the historic Patuxet home site exhibit.
I am delighted to be a part of a museum that has a long history of Indigenous research and programming, and to work with Melissa and Brad and the many other talented colleagues that are at the core of this museum and its mission. This year, as Plimoth Patuxet Museum celebrates 50 years of its Wampanoag Indigenous program, we reflect on decades of past accomplishments and look to the future. There are many exciting initiatives and programs that Plimoth Patuxet has underway as part of its overall commitment to telling this rich and nuanced story. From a new Indigenous programs building to educational activities, we look forward to amplifying our role as a resource for sharing Indigenous history and cultures in richness, depth, and diversity.